Back for my third draft here on the CubeTutor site. So let's see what happens. Trying to find the best. There we go. Alright. So pack one, pick one. Nothing really amazing here to get started. Got a couple different directions I can go. I can go Gravecrawler if I want to go into some sort of black stacks deck, maybe with braids. I could also do Reckless Wave if I wanted to go into mono red, though that's one of the lesser one drops. Could just take the land. I always say around our local cube place, when in doubt, take the land. Actually, I would probably, personally, I would take Vivid Creek over Verdant Catacombs. Mimic That's a sweet card. Just, especially if I can get it this early, maybe wheel the Skin Render and get lots of other sweet cards that go with it. Mimic That's it's a good build around card. But I think pack one, pick one. I'm just going to take the Mox Diamond. Being able to do things a turn sooner is nice, and it fixes any color land. Chromox is fine. Oh, that's in the same pack. Chromox is fine, but Mox Diamond is just so sweet. Just being able to splash any color for an extra land, it's awesome. So I'm going to take that and still be open to go into any deck. So pick two. Could do a Johnny. Could do the land. And Flinthoof 4 I just added. Not sure how good it's going to be, but we're going to give it a try. I ran it when M13 came out last year. We ran it for a couple months, and it was okay. I just decided to take Gruul in a different direction when the new sets came out. But I just put it back in, and we're going to give it a try. But that's not what's being taken here. I'm going to just take a Johnny, because it's Planeswalker, easily splashable regardless of which side I go on, and I have the help with the Mox Diamond that I first picked. So I'm going to take the Ajani. So, some options here. Could just take some lands. I got lots of lands. Wow, five lands I could take, including Creeping Tar Pit, which was one of the best lands in the whole cube. I could take the Wrath if I wanted to move more into control. I could take the Sword. Even though it's the worst sword, it's still a sword, worth taking. I could take Phantasmal Image as just a 2-mana copying any creature, which is sweet. Especially if you copy a creature with Shroud or Hexproof, it's just so strong. This is tough. It just really depends what I feel like drafting here. I don't really feel like drafting anything right now, so I'm just going to take the Sword. Just trying to stay flexible. And I could even still go into Boros, I guess, even though I don't like swords as much in the super aggressive decks, but in Boros it's a little slower than your traditional mono red, so I think it would still do work. So I'll take the Sword here. Just like my last drafts where I had Sorin and Obsidat in the same draft, I could take Boros Charm here. I do have the land. That's interesting. I could take, and there's the Blood Crypt as well. But all things being equal, I would love to start a draft with a Mox Diamond, a Sword, and 2 Planeswalkers. So I'm going to take Sorin. Sorin is sweet. There's that Goblin Welder again. Oh, it's so sweet. I could also take the land because it's green and white, which would turn on any, green fetch land. Like if I get a green-black fetch land, I can get the land for Sorin, or I can get the land for, looks like white might be my main color. I could just take Liliana. I could still end up Orzhov splashing a Johnny. Don't think I want to take Thalia after taking no creatures in 4 picks. That doesn't seem right. And I could splash Welder too. I could go down that road again, but I think I want to take Liliana and just keep the Planeswalker theme going. She's not the best Planeswalker, but her second ability is something people forget a lot about, and I know I've forgotten about it when I play with her, is she gets +X+X. It's not just the minus. People always think of it as a removal spell, myself included, but you can also use her to pump for the win. Like I know one turn I plus wonder when I had the win on the board if I would have just pumped her up. And as soon as I pass the turn, I'm like, I could have just won the game. But Liliana's sweet, so I'm going to take that. So, kind of a disappointing pack. Nothing white, black, or really even red, other than maybe a Devil's Play, but that's not really a card I'm excited to splash. I'm just going to take the land, and it's going to turn on all the green fetches that I get. So, yeah, just take that land. So I got an Edict effect here. And it looks like, assuming I want to play Liliana, that black has to be one of my main colors to make her good. So I could take Pernicious Deed, again easier to splash with my Mox and my Overgrown Tomb. Still not sure about Imperial Seal value, the more, because I played with it more than anyone in our circle in the last couple months, and the more I play with it, the more I see how much worse it is than Vampiric Tutor. Yes, that's obvious because it's a sorcery compared to an instant, but Imperial Seal just I can't believe how much the board state changes in just one turn. And it's honestly not something I've ever really thought about in Magic, just because, yeah, you draw cards, you play spells, whatever, but how much the board situation changes over the course of a turn between the attack phases and the draws and the cards people are casting, it makes Imperial Seal just so much worse than Vampiric Tutor. I know that's obvious, but I don't know. It's way worse than Vampiric Tutor. I can't believe how much worse it is. I thought it would be pretty close, but it's not. And it's actually, I know it's a portal card, so it makes it more expensive, which is why a lot of people don't run it, but it's kind of close to the chopping block for me right now. We'll see how the next few sets pan out, but just a side note on Imperial Seal. But I'm going to take the Edict, just some early removal, because I have 3 Planeswalkers and no creatures, and some removal is good. Oh, this pack's interesting because got 3 lands, and I think I'd be happy with all 3 of them. I could take the Caves, I could take the Badlands, or I could take the Reflecting Pool. There's no way I take anything else at this point. So let's assume that, see, I don't know what I am. Like, I could still be black-red, splash white, or I could be black-white, splash red, or I could just be black, splashing both of them somehow. So I think this is close, but I'm going to take the duel just because it's fetchable, and it'll get, like, if I get the green-red fetch land, I don't know, just to pick something random, I can fetch both of those with the lands I'm getting, plus then if I can get, like a green-white land, then I can fetch that as well. So I'm just going to take the Badlands, even though if this was the black-white duel, I think I would take that over the Badlands. Alright, so should have thought more about the cards that we're going to wheel, and I'm really glad I didn't take the black-white land, because now I have Isolated Chapel here, which is definitely the pick. Horizon Canopy's fine, but no green cards yet, so I'm going to take the Chapel. This is shaping up pretty well so far. So, Urborg Liliana combo, sweet. So, yeah, that's a card not a lot of people run, and I put it in when I tried the Pox package with Pox and Small Pox and a bunch of cards like that, and overall it has actually been way better than I expected, even though at this point I've taken out pretty much all the Pox cards except for Small Pox. I've kept Urborg in because I did have Giralf's Messenger as well, and Necropotence has been in for about 6 months, but Urborg has been actually really strong. There's nothing like, the other time, a couple weeks ago I was playing a Grixis deck, and I was playing just like mountains and islands while hoarding Urborg in my hand, and as soon as I dropped it, it's like, then I just cast a double black card right away. It was really sweet. So just being able to not have to play multiple swamps, it can make games play out a little differently. So I'm going to take that here, and I'm definitely going to run it. So, nothing really exciting here. I think I am going to take Maelstrom Pulse. That could get splashed. I'm really not sure exactly where I am right now, but this deck is looking pretty sweet so far. It's a little more, little spicy brand. So I'm going to take the Pulse. So, Obsidat, I don't think is where I want to go, because that forced me really heavy Orzhov, which worked with the last draft I did, but with this one, not so much. I'm going to take the Battlefield Forge. Very happy that wheeled. So now I'm able to splash red. So right now, without running any, this is pack 1, without running any mountains, I have 3 red sources already, with the Badlands, the Mox, and now Battlefield Forge. So Abrupt Decay, I could splash both Pulse and Decay if I want to have some removal. So yeah, we'll take that. Lame cards, I'll take Willbender. And Mystic Snake. Alright, so pack 2. Where do I want to go from here? I want to go into blue so I can play Fact or Fiction or Bribery or Wrath. Those are all good. Or Moloku. But I'm not taking any of those. What do I take? I don't think I want Mere Battlesphere. I passed the Welder and I'm not going to play Tinker, so I don't really have many ways to abuse it right now. I could just take the Vivid Meadow, keep my theme up with the lands. I want to do a count of how many playables I actually have, though. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 actual playables, plus potentially 2 more if I splash the green. And Vivid Meadow would help me do that. And none of these black, white, red cards are really that great for what I want to do. So I'm just going to take Vivid Meadow. Like if I had a black, white, or red card on par with either of these cards, I would take it, but I don't. Ooh. How deep do I want to go? Ralzeric's in this pack. That would give me my 4th Planeswalker. Similarly, it would give me my 4th color. How many blue sources do I have? I just have 2. I have Mox Diamond and I have Vivid Meadow as my blue sources. And it's looking like red's going to be a splash as well. So that might be a little dangerous trying to splash my 3rd and 4th colors, or have a walker that's my 3rd and 4th colors. It's unfortunate it's in the same pack as the Bloodstained Mire, and the City of Brass is like exactly what this deck needs. This is tough. Like, I wish I had City of Brass already or was in the next pack and vice versa. I could be greedy and take the Ralzeric, or I could take the City of Brass and it would just make my whole deck better. This is really close. I'm going to try and live a little because this deck is already pretty crazy. I'm going to take Ralzeric and see what happens. But this could be wrong and greedy, but I'm going to take Ral. Okay, so somehow I got Jace super late. This is not okay. This is 3rd pick. Oh. Well, but I don't have any chance of... Right? I don't have any chance of playing Jace. Like, it's already really late and I don't have any blue fixing other than the Vivid Meadow. I could take the Volcanic Island. That seems... Jace shouldn't be here, though. Like, if you go to the analysis page, again, that's what this website, the Cube Tutor, uses to analyze what cards get drafted. Like, Jace is, like, top 10. So, like, I think it's top 5. So, the fact that it's here is kind of glitchy. Like, it shouldn't be here. So, I guess I'm going to be that guy who was like, man, I can't believe that card's still in the pack, and then you pass it. You know, how many times do you hear that with the people you're drafting with if you're in a casual cube drafting environment? Where they're like, man, I can't believe this card's still here, and then they just slam it on the table and pass it to their neighbor. But I'm going to take the Volcanic Island. I'm going to pretend like the Jace isn't here. Yeah, I'm going to take the Volcanic Island. Okay, really late sword here. I don't have a lot of creatures to really take advantage. This would be my 2nd sword, and I don't have hardly any creatures. I have Sorin, and I have Sorin. Oh, this is awesome. So, sword might not be the best pick for where I am. I could take Spectral Procession, but I'm not going to be heavy white. I could take Time Twister or Memory Jar if I want to refill my hand. So, hopefully I can get some more, like, token-producing guys. I'm going to take the sword. This pack's really not very good for where I am. Okay. So, Duskmantle Seer. That's a sweet card. Nice way to draw cards. Shuts down the aggro decks. I could take Geist to Saint Traft. Again, blue's my splash. Like, I have Ralzeric, and hopefully that's all I end up splashing. Well, or Time Walk that I open pack 3. Hopefully, so I don't know if I want to take on another card like Geist to Saint Traft. I also could really use a little more acceleration besides my Mox Diamond. So, I think for me it's down to either Duskmantle Seer or Bloodgift Demon. Bloodgift Demon's in black, which is my quote-unquote main color, since I have like 5 black cards, if you count Maelstrom Pulse, Abrupt Decay, and Sorin as black, assuming I'm playing both those black cards. Then black's my main color. So do I want to tap into blue for another splash, though, off of Duskmantle Seer? I think the safe pick here is just to take Bloodgift Demon, because black's my main color. It'll be easier on my mana. I'm just going to do that, even though Duskmantle Seer is a better card. Okay. So, lots of disappointment here. I think I should probably try and get a second color or something. I could take the Eternal Dragon. I don't have any true dual lands for the white side, though. I have the Forge and the Meadow and the Chapel, but none of them are fetchable with Eternal Dragon. I think I'm just going to take the Wall. I mean, that's not exciting, but it's fine. And it'll stop the early beats, which is, I'm pretty soft to aggro right now. I guess if I draw Mox Diamond, I can like do turn 3 Sorin. That's probably my current best thing against the aggro decks, or drop in Pulse or Decay. But I'm just going to take the wall. Okay. So here's another land. I really need to get some fetch lands. That's really what I need. A couple fetches would make my mana awesome. I'm going to take the Breeding Pool. It's going to turn on, it's going to be a second blue source for Rao, by second land blue source, and a couple green sources. So I'm just going to take the Breeding Pool. So I have Oblivion Stone if I want to Wrath the board away, if I can get up to 5 mana. I'm thinking if I get to 5 mana, though, I'm going to be okay. So what do I want to do here? I feel like these packs just... I saw some black cards early, but I just haven't had a lot of black cards in these packs. So what do I want to do? Do I like move into black-blue? Can I make blue one of my main colors? I could make green one of my main colors. I could be black-green, splash, blue, white, red. Oh man, this deck's crazy. So what's the play here? Do I need... I don't think I want to O-Stone. Like I just... Maybe do I just take Viridian Shaman or Growth Spasm? And Growth Spasm will help fix my lands, but how many basics am I going to be running of my 3rd, 4th, or 5th colors? Probably not many. So... I think I'm going to take the Shaman just to get another creature. I mean, I could take Oblivion Stone. That might be the right pick. Maybe I should just take Incinerate. This is tough. Right now my 2 red cards are Ajani and Rao. Great splashes, great late game, great any time in the game. I really need to decide on my second main color. Besides black being my main, I need a second color. So I think I'm going to take... Jeez. This is a really tough pick. I think I want to take the... I'm taking Incinerate. I don't know if that's right, but it'll be good late game anyway, just being able to kill something of my opponent's. So what's still here? Remember when I said I wish I was blue, and then I get Ralzeric. I think Moloku might be the pick here. I need to pick up some ramp or something, but if I can get Moloku out, that still only gives me 3 blue cards off of... No, is that 3 blue cards? No, just the 1, sorry. Just the 1 blue card, Ralzeric and Moloku. Moloku's good any time of the game. Just got to get to 5 mana, so I'm going to take Moloku. So I could take Journey. I could take Flames of the Firebrand. I think those are the only 2 cards I really would want. So Journey is some nice early removal. Well, we'll put early in quotation marks, assuming I have a white land. I think that's the pick here, because being able to deal with any targetable creatures is nice. Alright, so time for another land, I think, right? Blue-black? Yep. So Drowned Catacomb is Windmill Slam here. And the 2 draw 7s are still here. Those are cards. Personally, I undervalue these cards a lot, I know. I just don't pick them. So I'm going to take... like Mastercore's just a 4/4 for 4 that I have to discard, and I already have all these 4 drops. I'm going to take Spectral Procession. Probably not playing it. Alright, so I could do Aether Adept, or I could do the Pilgrim. Have I moved into blue as my second color? I really don't know where I am as my second color. Because like Wall of Omens on the splash is pretty soft. Can I move into blue as my second color? Huh. I think the double blue, I think the double casting cost is really what I'm trying to avoid. As crazy and all over as this deck is, it's kind of, there's not a lot of greedy cards. Like there's Spectral Procession, which I'm probably not playing, and I guess there's Liliana that likes a lot of swamps, but even without a ton of swamps, it's still fine. So I'm going to take the Pilgrim. Going to take the Disenchant here over the 1-drop I'm not playing. A Mana Tithe last pick, even though if this was real, of course, everyone at the table would know that it's in the pack, but still, Mana Tithe might make my main deck. Alright, time to open that Time Walk. I'm really good at this. So there's the Time Walk. That's awesome. So nothing else to say here other than I'm playing Time Walk, and that is awesome. So side story, I was playing against the red aggro deck, red-black aggro on Friday. and I played a Baneslayer in the first game, and he couldn't beat it. So it came to game 2, and I was dealing my opening cards, and I'm like, the 5th card down is Baneslayer, and so what I did, so I just flipped the card over, before I looked at my opening hand, it was Baneslayer, and we both had a good laugh. Because, 1 in 40 odds, sometimes you get it right. So that was a funny moment. So that's my story about how I open Time Walk here. So what do I hope to wheel back here? Plateau. Plateau would be great. Maybe Glenalendra. Yeah, that's about it. So we'll take Time Walk. So Koth is awesome, but I'm nowhere near Koth. I could take another land, another sword for the hardly any creatures I have. I could take more removal. So I think I'm more blue-white splashing things. So I got to pick up some some fetch lands this pack. I think I want the blue land because I don't have very many red sources. I have lots of red sources, for just a few red cards, and blue looks like it's a little more main now with the Moloku, the Time Walk, and the Ral. And that gives me both my last colors, but there's no way to fetch this land, which is unfortunate. But I still think I'm going to take it here. Hey, Baneslayer. So how many playables do I actually have? I should probably figure that out. So let's start with the right column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, 18. So I'm there, assuming I play all those cards. So I think I'm going to be black-white as my main color because Baneslayer's in this pack, or I could just take this land. How many colors does this land fetch? Fetches me red, blue, and black, and that's it. So it fetches me Grixis. So it's a Grixis dual land, or fetch land. I could take the Grixis fetch land, and I guess white, obviously, with Arid Mesa being white. So it gets me all the colors except for green. Maybe that's good enough. Maybe that's good enough for what I want to do. Because I could just take Baneslayer as a nice finisher, but do I really need it? Do I really need a Baneslayer? I don't know. I'm going to just take the land. So, another dual land. Not dual. Another man land. Celestial Colonnade. I could take Jace, but the double blue I think is going to be too much. Passed Aether Adept earlier, but Mana War taking this would be justified, even though it's a little loose. I think I'm going to take the Colonnade, even though I am running out of picks where I need to actually, get some, playables. But I'm going to take Colonnade. Hey, another land. I should take that. So, but seriously, I think I'm going to take Rolling Earthquake, because it's a pseudo-wrath effect, and I should have enough, I'm at the point now where I should have enough ways to get my red out and be able to wrath away their board, hopefully before I'm dead. So, yeah, I'm gonna take this Rolling Earthquake. That seems good. Balance seems sweet. So it's Balance, I could take Sulphur Falls or Porcelain Legionnaire. Those are really the only cards worth considering. I can't show anything sweet, nor tell anyone. So, Balance, or Porcelain Legionnaire, or the land. I think I'm going to take Balance, because I have some good artifacts, and I have plenty of walkers. So I think Balance is a card I can hopefully take some advantage of. So what do I take here? Vamp Tutor seems really good. I don't have enough ways to make Dark Ritual really good, because it doesn't allow me to cast like a Johnny. It doesn't work that way. So I'm going to just take Vamp Tutor. That's a sweet card. I now have 2 copies of everything in my deck. So I could search frantically to try and get the lands that I need for my deck, or I could just take a 2/1 flyer, and that's about it. So I'm going to take Frantic Search. That's kind of a loose pick. Gifts, I really don't have enough way to take advantage of gifts like Unburial Rites, but not even that would be very good for me right now with the so few creatures I have. I'm going to take Frantic Search. Alright, here's the wheel. I could take Icy to shut down anything. I could take another land. I need to do a serious count, though, as far as how many actual playables I have. So let's say I am black, white, splashing the other 3 colors. So 1, 2. Can I play Willbender? That's a little loose. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19. So I'm at like 21 playables. Plus I could play like a Willbender if I had to. So maybe taking the land would be okay here. But see, this land's sketchy. The filters are sketchy in a deck like this because if I don't have blue or red, which I don't think is super unlikely to happen, if I don't have either color, then this is just a colorless land. So that being said, I think I do have a lot of ways to get. I have a lot of ways to get both sides of those. So maybe that is the pick, or I could just take Icy Manipulator as a removal. I think that's a good play, and it protects my Planeswalker, so I'm going to take the Icy. Is this it's not a Chandra deck, but it is a Chainer's Edict deck. Chainer's Edict seems like just a 2-mana Edict. That's what I'm going to need. The way games are going to go, I'm probably going to flash it back as well. I could take Bane of the Living as a potential way to wrath the board away. Do I want that over? Because I do have some good 2-drops already, so maybe I don't need the Edict. Maybe Living would be better as a way to potentially wrath the board. This is close. Now I'm gonna take Chainer's Edict. So I could take Repeal on the splash, or I could take Phyrexian Arena in my main color, which is what I'm gonna do. Drawing extra cards is what I want. Seal of Cleansing, way to deal with artifacts and enchantments, is good. Another filter land. Okay, how many ways do I have to get blue or green? So 1. I can't count that. So 1, 2, 3. That gets both 4. Yeah, I'm going to just take the land. I mean, I don't Flicker Wisp. I guess I could target my own Journey to hit something again. Could reset a Planeswalker. Nah, I'm going to take the land. And a Smokestack I wouldn't want to play against. And I could bring that in against aggro. Alright, so let's go deep. This was not where I ended up expected to be in the end. This deck is really interesting. I don't know if it's interesting good, but it's definitely something. Boy, Nearheath Pilgrim's kind of soft. So that's 23. That's so few cards I'm not running. So 23. So if I'm black-white, so what are my splashes outside of black-white? So I have blue splashes. 1, 2, 3. That's good. That's real good. So green splashes is Pulse, Decay. That's great. So red splashes, 3 red. Wow. Even though I'm 5 colors, this actually seems pretty manageable with all the lands I got. That's pretty exciting. And obviously Liliana is not great with 12 non-basics, counting the Mox Diamond. But Urborg is something for Liliana, and probably pretty much all my basics are going to be swamps. Oh, yeah, she's not going to be that good. That's alright. So, do I stick in Spectral Procession? Spectral Procession or Disenchant? Do I want Disenchant? No, yeah, I'll take Disenchant over Seal. So, I think that's my deck. I don't think I want to splash for Frantic Search or Willbender. I could play Incinerate on the splash, but I don't think I need to with all the removal I already have. So, you know what? I do think I need to be 18 land, though. Or no, 17 land plus the Mox Diamond, so I need to cut one more card. Do I need to run 2 swords when I have 4 creatures, 3 of whom can attack? Oh man, this deck might be a little sketchy. So I'm going to cut the worst sword in the cube. I'm just going to keep the 1 in, just as it'll be a target for removal. My opponent doesn't know that I only have 4 creatures that can attack. To be fair, I do have Moloku and Sorin that makes tokens. So, I mean, that's something. But, yeah, this is... do I run Spectral Procession? Well, let me drop in the lands first. Let's drop in all the lands. So let's look at the splash colors. Let's look at red first. I have, okay, I know I'm scrolling a lot here. So red cards, or red lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 red sources. That seems good. I'm good there. So let's look at blue sources. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with Hinterland Harbor. 7. Oh, I got a ton of blue sources. Actually, wow, blue's like the most I have. And then green sources. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm good. So of my awesome 4 basic lands, I guess I need to do black and white. So white is 1, 2, 3, 4. Arid Mesa makes 5, 6. 6 white, and black is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Arid Mesa 7. So 7, 6. And I do need those white cards. I do need like the Pilgrim, and God, Pilgrim's just not very good. What's it going to soul bond with? Like nothing? Am I better just running Spectral Procession as like a 4-drop? As a 2 white card? That might be better than a soul bond card that's never going to pair. Yeah, that seems better. So, do I need, how many, what's my land base? Am I 3-1? The classic 3-1 mana base? So white, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 white, plus the Mox Diamond makes 6. So I can remember it this time, 6. Then black I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So those are my sources without the 4 basics. So if I go 2, 2, that puts me at 9, 8. The 8 sources with Spectral Procession seems real good. So my doubles are all black. So I think I just need to be pretty much all black. If I go 3-1, that puts me to 7 white sources. Yeah. Even with all this, my mana is still sketchy. Even with 13 non-basic lands, my mana is sketchy. But that's what you get when you try and do Liliana Spectral Procession in the same deck. With Ralzeric. I don't know how good this deck is. It's got a lot of raw power, a lot of sweet cards, and this deck would be, if I don't get run over in the first 3 turns, this deck would actually be a lot of fun to play, just because your opponent would be so confused as you go Abrupt Decay into Maloku or Ralzeric, just randomly out of nowhere. So this deck was fun. This was definitely one of the more fun decks I've built here on the CubeTutor site, and I've really enjoyed it. So hope you guys did too, and I'll catch you